Hello and welcome back to another one of Paul's beer reviews. Today I've got a beer for you from Wychwood Brewery, who are of course owned by Marston's now, and probably most famously known for their Hobgoblin. But I'm not reviewing Hobgoblin today. I am reviewing one I've not had before, and it is a bottle of Ripsaw, coming in at 4.2% ABV. Says on the front here it's a refreshing red beer with a maple syrup twist. Always like the artwork on Wychwood beers. You've got a well, it looks like a Viking, doesn't he, with his Ripsaw. Yeah, I haven't had this one before. I picked this one up in Aldi. It was $1.29, so a bargain, I'm hoping. Yeah, let's see what else it says. A take on the American red with a maple syrup twist. Expect rich red colours from crystal malts, roasted barley and caramalts with a spicy, resinous bitterness and an aroma of grapefruits and peaches. Sounds lovely. Contains barley and rye. Yeah, it's 4.2% ABV. Best before is the 31st of May 2019, so got just under a year, which would suggest that this is a relatively fresh one. Yeah, sounds great. Looking forward to this one. Let's get it out into a glass and see what we get, shall we? There is the Wychwood Brewery cap. Most of the time they are black. You do get blue ones, and at Halloween they sometimes put an orange one on top of their Hobgoblin. So yeah, let's get this into a glass and see what we get. There's already quite a dark red looking beer coming out here. I'll leave that there so we can all see the artwork, which is blinding. So there is the Ripsaw from Wychwood. Very dark red in colour. Decent sort of low levels of carbonation. A few bubbles rising up the glass. It's pretty transparent. Let's get an aroma, shall we? Malt. Slight bit of caramel, a bit of toffee. Other than that, not a lot. Not much going on in the nose. I mean, the head on this has disappeared really quickly. I'm saying there's not terrific amounts of carbonation on it, and it's only a 4.2% ABV beer. Yeah, there's not much going on with this. Not much on the aroma. So the slightest bit of sort of caramelly toffee malt in there. I'm going to get a taste. Cheers, guys. Not a great deal going on there, if I'm honest. There's a slight bit of toffee, caramelly malt. Very subtle bitterness on the back end, and very subtle. Other than that, it's kind of flavourless. I'm not really getting anything. It's not particularly sweet. There's no real sweetness. You're getting that sort of caramel, toffee, malt kind of mid palate, but even that's really subtle. It's very watery. It's drinkable, but it hasn't got any flavour. There is a slight bit of bitterness on the back end. And that's all I'm getting really. There's a slight sweetness of caramel, slight sort of toffee note to it. And a little bit of bitterness on the back end, but it's very nothingy. Maple syrup twist, I'm getting no maple syrup. Roasted barley, caramels, maybe a slight bit of caramel, spicy resinous bitterness. It does have a slight spicy bitterness at the back end. And it says it should have had an aroma of grapefruits and peaches. I won't get any of that. No grapefruits, no peaches on the aroma whatsoever. Excuse me. Slight caramel, toffee sweetness in the malt mid palate, and a slight bitter finish. You're picking up a little bit of the crystal malts, which is something that Wychwood use a lot. Hobgoblin itself is full of crystal malts and kind of roasted malt flavours. It's hard just to know what to say about this. It's it reminds me of a little bit of it's almost like a Lidl beer, you know, where they've kind of almost sort of stopped from putting too much in the way of ingredients. It's not unpleasant. It doesn't have a particularly horrible taste to it. As I say, there is the slightest sweetness from sort of the caramel and toffee malts, sort of mid palate. There's no real. I mean, it says there's a maple syrup twist on it. I'm not getting any maple syrup. I'm not getting any of the sweetness that you would expect from a maple syrup. Not really, anyway. Like I say, toffee malts, caramel malts, a little bit of bitterness on the back end, and that's it really. It's very thin. You can see it's got no head on it, not really much in the way of carbonation. It's pretty poor, to be honest. I don't really see what it's trying to do. Whatever it is, it's failing. That's a shame. That's a shame. Yeah, I'll give it a score. I'm thirsty. It's really cold. I mean, maybe I should have had it at room temperature. Maybe it would have bring out the flavours a little bit more. Perhaps what I'll do is I'll let it sit for a little while. But early indications, my early review on this would just be that it's not very good at all. Slight bit of malt, slight bit of bitterness on the back end. But the toffee and caramel malts are very subtle. And the bitter finish to it, again, it's quite light. It's yeah, there's two things going on with it, the malt and the bitterness, and neither one of those have been done very well. It's not good. It's not horrible. You know, it's okay, but it's not great. I wouldn't buy it again. I suppose for $1.29 a bottle, I suppose I can't feel too bad about having a go on it. Yeah, bit disappointed with that one. I'll give it a score. It won't be great, but it is drinkable, so I'll give it a 4. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. So 4 out of 10 for Wychwood's Ripsaw. Yeah, available in Aldi, $1.29 a bottle. So yeah, if you want to have a go on this, perhaps you'll find it in your local one. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers, guys.